When I heard Spanberger talking about the pragmatism, and she's also like Cheryl, they're like national security types, right? They have the kind of resume that for a long time Democrats really felt was necessary to combat kind of Republican perceived strength on national security, on crime. If it's a model, Dustin, what takeaways do you see that Republicans could be concerned about?
Well, you have Mamdani winning in New York City, then you have these two candidates winning in these two blue states.
As governors, right? Where they're going to have a big platform.
So they're more important ultimately, but still you have both sides of the party having some wins in these. So for Virginia, this one thing we have to remember is that in off-year elections following a presidential year, the party out of power always does better. And in Virginia in particular, before yesterday, 11 of the last 12 governor's races went against the person in the White House. Now it's 12 out of 13. So this is just a typical, the pattern that happens. Now, one thing I would say that is the intensity there, though, is the House of Delegates is, I think it looks like it's going to be about 64 out of the 100. So that is actually, there's a level of intensity. The government shutdown going this long, I think, had a lot of that. There's a non-zero chance that a lot of those government workers who were not working were part of the get out the vote operations for the Democrats. Also, do
they need that? Like, if you're mad at the government because you've been laid off and aren't paying, you don't need someone to knock on your door.
No, operations do make a difference, but the energy also makes a difference. Something that I don't think anybody's talked about, but a year ago, Republicans did something that was kind of unheard of. They outsourced their get out the vote operations to Turning Point USA, and the guy who's in charge of that was assassinated 2 months ago. That had an operational actual impact on these elections because that obviously they're dealing with some stuff. So that there are operational impacts, and I think that.
But meaning there's not an infrastructure that just falls in place because once you've outsourced it.
Yeah.